What's up, players? Welcome to Sims Tennis. I've got another racket review for you guys. Today we will be reviewing the Blade 98 16x19. I got 3 of these rackets in order to see what the range of specs are and to get a peek into the quality control as well. I will put those measurements up on screen before we get into the play test, but first let's talk about the new Blade 98. So the V9 Blade has gotten a few subtle yet noticeable updates. Wilson has added stable feel technology, which is intended to make the frame feel more stable and also provide a more connected feel to the ball. And they have also incorporated a new click and go bumper and grommet system, which makes the bumper and grommets easier to replace. I'll give you guys a quick preview of how that system works. And basically with this system, you just need to take out the bright green pieces, which Wilson is calling grommet staples. Once you have removed those, there are just 2 more grommets that go through the frame, so you can remove the bumper pretty easily. Most of the grommets that typically would be attached to the bumper are part of a separate piece that just remains in the racket, so it just requires a lot less fussing to get the bumper on and off. This also makes adding lead under the bumper much easier, which I did here in order to match this blade specs to another one. This new V9 blade maintains very similar target specs to the last version. The target weight is still 305 grams, the target balance is still 32 centimeters, but the swing weight seems to be about 5 or so points higher than it was on the last version. Here are the specs of the 3 rackets that I got. You can see that the unstrung swing weights range from 286 to 294. The unstrung weights range from 306.5 grams to 308.8 grams, and the balances range from 31.7 centimeters to 32.1 centimeters. I've measured additional samples since these 3 rackets, and I can say that the weight and balance typically stays within this range, but I've seen swing weights ranging from 280 all the way up to 300. I chose the racket with a 294 swing weight and a 306.9 gram static weight as my demo, and I strung it up with 1.25 Wilson Revolve spin at 46 pounds. This brought the swing weight up to 323. Okay, so I'm just gonna come right out and say it. This new blade has officially knocked my E-Zone 98 off its perch. It's just enough of an improvement over the V8 blade to tempt me to make the switch, but I will not be going back to the E-Zone after doing this playtest. There is one more racket that I'd like to test before I officially make a switch, so comment below if you have any guesses which racket it is, and stay tuned for the review. Alright, on Groundstrokes, I really enjoyed this racket. Although it's a little on the muted side, the power and launch angle were both moderate, and this made for good depth control, which I really appreciated. The spin struck a nice balance as well. While it wasn't the standout feature, I was still surprised by the amount of spin I could get at times. On forehands, this racket inspires the confidence I like to swing big, and it also provides just enough stability and mass to shorten up my swing and play some good defense when needed. On backhands, this racket was great as well. I love the combination of stability and control it provided on this wing, and it's one of those rackets that really makes me feel like I can use my backhand as more of a weapon. It kind of tempts you to change directions and go line in a way that is typically reserved for 95-inch frames, so that's some pretty high praise. Returns with this racket were solid, but I think with a little weight in the butt cap or a leather grip, they'd be great. On forehand returns, the maneuverability isn't the best with the way that the racket is balanced, so I had to really focus on a short backswing and catching the ball out in front. It does work well if you do this, and it does also work well for blocking and chipping back returns. The mass and stability are both there, so you can consistently get good depth on your returns as long as you're just able to maneuver the racket into place. On volleys, the racket was great as well. This is the area where I felt the most improvement over the last version of the blade. As long as you can just get the racket into position, you have plenty of mass and power to do most of the work for you. I also found it to feel really controlled at net because it gives a nice direct point and shoot feel out of the string bed. I really enjoyed serving with this new blade. It offers good pop and precision on flat first serves. I also felt like I was able to get good bite on the ball, so spin serves were good as well. Slice serves had a nice mix of driving through the court while also cutting away, and I felt as if I was able to get a nice jump off the court on my kick serves as well. I really appreciated the well-rounded nature of this racket for serves. Alright, so who's this racket for? Overall, this is a good racket for advanced level players who are looking for a well-balanced frame. It's not going to wow you in any facet of the game, but it will wow you with its ability to do a little bit of everything. It's a no-frills frame for players who want something predictable so they can let their game do the rest. Okay, so that's all for the review. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Also, please consider subscribing. And And don't forget to embrace the grind.